It's been nearly 2 years since we last met. Where does this time go? Hello, welcome to the well, very night of sonic distraction. It's a fine time of the day if one were to glance outside the window and admire the view. But sadly I have a work to do, and this work's called God Gaming. I'm going to show you some God Gaming stuff by doing a run of MGR on New Game Plus hard difficulty, which is considered the fastest category. Which means we'll have most of the stuff unlocked, and a lot of the things we'll be doing is mostly tied to the movement stuff instead of focusing more on the combat aspects, which is mostly an NG, like the usual new game stuff that you want to see. But because new game runs are mostly relies on the parries, especially running on the Revengeance difficulty, New Game Plus Hard is one of the popular difficulties in the run, and that's why we'll be doing this beautiful run. I'm usually running MGR without any sound, as you might have noticed already, because running this game for quite a while is going to be a problem. So how about we do some music on? For this run in particular, we ain't going to use these baby things, because these baby things are used by baby runners and we are god gamers, so get this thing away from me. I'm not here today alone. I'm here with some god gamers as well, so please introduce yourselves, my comrades.
Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Vash TSB. Thank you so much, Meka, for having me, and thank you watching for getting us to over $1 million in donations for a great cause. I couldn't do this alone though. Joining me from across the pond, either Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Britain, doesn't matter where. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy. Who are you?
Hey guys, I'm Mel's reporting here from somewhere on planet Earth. Pleasure to be here to help showcase this run that I love alongside these legends. And also, we have from also the other side of the pond again, my good friend
Logic Dolphin. Yes, it's me, the Dolphin of Logic that you've heard about, because my name is Logic Dolphin, I guess.
Runners extraordinaire all abound. All right, guys, are we all ready?
Good to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Perfect. So I'll give the countdown, and I hope you guys are ready for God Gaming. We won't be slowing down. There will be no safety strategies. I'm going to use every single risky strategy there is in the run. Well, this run's going to go very well. Yes.
Will either go
Three,
well or not go well? I'm not sure which yet.
Go!
All right, everybody, here we go. So just like Meka was talking about earlier, this is a run that's heavily based around movement, but just like we're seeing right now, this is an action game. If you've ever played a game like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, this is a game similar in style. We play as Raiden. He's a cyborg ninja, and his main gimmick is he runs super fast, he cuts super hard, and we have a lot of different types of encounters coming throughout this run. So what we just saw was a run-in with some typical enemies. These are like stock standard enemies. These are fights that we want to get through quickly and handle them with instant kills as much as possible. But this is another type of encounter we're going to see pretty frequently throughout the run. This is a routed boss fight. So this is Metal Gear Ray. Metal Gear. So this is a big dude, and this showcases a bit of a juxtaposition, right? Because what we want to have happen is we either want to kill enemies as quickly as possible, or we just want to bait enemies into attacking as often as possible so we can get these parries that we're seeing here. The best way to do this fight, it is RNG, is to bait Ray into attacking so we get this parry. It always gives us a guaranteed burst of damage out of his health bar. This is actually a pretty heavy reset point, but Meka got very lucky here by staying on top of Ray. And because of that, we get moments like this.
Oh boy, that's so good.
See, this is why I take creatine.
Yeah, this is why you know, high protein diet is important, you know.
It's not just for the figure, no. If you ever just need to throw a skyscraper really quick.
Yeah, just eat like 6 chickens a day, you'll be good.
6? How many do you think Raiden needs?
54.
He's a cyborg, so like, yeah, probably a couple at most.
You see, he does them just
For
raw.
aesthetics.
Just for the
Yeah, he
aesthetic.
eats them raw. He's constantly sick. Yeah, that's how he rolls.
That's how he stays nice and shredded. All right, so we haven't talked about much, but basically Raiden is a cyborg ninja, but he's also on security detail. And who are we trying to protect?
We're trying to protect Nmani, I think.
Yeah,
This is the Prime Minister of the country.
Not the dude
Yeah.
who's running away, but the person who he's carrying. So we're trying to run him down because he just got ganked out of a limousine. Not a great way to start your Tuesday. But if you've ever played a game like Assassin's Creed, Metal Gear Rising has kind of this auto-run mechanic called Ninja Run. And what it does is it tries to intelligently move Raiden throughout uneven terrain. So like these little pillars here. But sometimes it's not always the fastest way. Sometimes we want to let go of Ninja Run and manually platform up obstacles.
Look who's back!
It's Metal Gear Rising 2.
We finished the game the first time, now it's time for the sequel.
The sequel.
So this is a similar premises to what we just did before. What we're trying to do here, though, is be a little bit more precise with how we approach Ray's HP gating. There's a specific number that Meka is trying to hit here so that we can just push him through phases. The way Platinum, the developers of this game, used to like to structure their fights, they tried to make things as deliberate and consistent as possible so that you saw all phases of fights. In this case, though, we can actually manipulate this by getting bursts of damage and then going for quick instant hits around the guaranteed damage so that we can force him into another stagger state. And that way, we just go boom, 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 massive parry chunks. And just like that, all that's left, hits him with the twinkle toes, and Ray says, I've had enough of this. I can't take it anymore.
That doesn't faze him. He's just gonna ice skate on top of these missiles, because you know what? He doesn't pack high heels for nothing. You know, they have a use, and that's surfing on a missile, I guess.
Is this
flex,
what they'd be
but
doing
okay.
in Victoria's Secret? So without fail, Platinum are known for one thing, and it is, well, they used to be known for one thing, and that is spectacle. And it doesn't get much more spectacular than getting flung on top of a clock tower. Now, Logic, what would you do if you were in this situation?
Well, naturally, I would just run straight down the frickin' thing because, you know,
Why not?
that's just
dude?
what I do, you know? What's the
I-
fastest way down? Would you say fall? Nah, running.
I mean,
Running's faster.
for him to be able to, like, overhead press, like, a tanker, he'd have to weigh, like, so much. It would have to be faster. I don't know.
Here comes the moment that he's practiced in the mirror at least 6 times. Like, yeah, there he goes. He got it. Yeah, been training his whole life for that.
Mom, was I cool?
Yeah.
All right, so now that Ray is officially dispatched, we still got to go retrieve our homeboy. And Mani is currently being held captive. Once again, not great. Raiden not doing the best job ever. He's like Stan Lee in that Captain America movie. I am so fired. And here's
then we
HR
have-
to seal the deal.
Yeah, now we have the best personality character of all time. He is literally me. It's Jetstream Sam. And actually, yeah, this fight, you can't actually win it. You know what I mean? You just have to let the homeboy beat you up a little bit. So,
Yeah, bear in
Meka
mind.
right now.
I was gonna say, bear in mind, this is still the prologue. Like, we haven't even gotten out of bed, our shoes aren't even on, and this dude's swinging at us with a cool red katana.
He has like high heel slippers on right now, yeah.
Oh, does he got the... Wait, does he have cybernetic pumps? I can't tell.
Stylish. But yeah, basically, just let Jetstream Sam beat him up as quickly as possible, and there we go. And the sort of same premise applies here. It's just basically baiting him to come towards you and hit you as quickly as possible. It's all very brutal, really, isn't it?
Yeah, if you ever get your arm cut off by a Brazilian guy and you just need to get out of the situation as fast as possible, just walk away from him for about 13 seconds and then press the attack button. He'll sort you out.
Yeah, can confirm.
And just like that, we're out of the prologue. That's R00 guard duty. And right now, we actually move into the reason why we call this New Game Plus. Isn't that right, Logic?
Yeah, New Game Plus, we get all of the stuff that we would obtain throughout the normal story, but all at once, and this allows us to do quite a few interesting things, such as skip through some sections that you would normally not be able to skip. Here we're utilizing a mechanic called the polearm jump that we're going to see a couple of times, that coupled with Ripper mode so that we can jump even higher. And Meka just did this so quickly, but we just jumped over a barrier that was going to trigger a battle, and we just, skipped it like it was no problem, like there was nobody there.
Yeah, this guy's on an absolute heater right now. Don't we have an incentive for this one going on? I could have sworn that we did. If we do it, well, and if we haven't met it yet, you need to. Meka is an absolute demon at this game, and he can show you not just good gameplay with Raiden, but also some of the DLC characters. Donate, get the money in for a good cause, and see some good gameplay. That's what we're here for.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
we're
so
just
right now-
casually out of bounds.
Yeah, you're seeing like Abkhazia right now. This is exactly what it looks like. There's just buildings with no back to it. It's a very cool place. Yeah, you can just walk right through the walls too. It's crazy.
And coming up here, we have our actual first boss fight. Isn't that right, Logic?
Yeah, Blade Wolf. So what you're going to see Meka do, he's going to throw a grenade at the start of the fight in order to get Blade Wolf stunned. And he's going to use a couple of pincer attacks with some dodge cancels in order to make sure that the attacks line up perfectly. And, well, the fight's over. Just like that.
Blade Wolf, I'm starting so dirty in this run.
Meka, can you do that again? I blinked. So right now, this is more the movement part of the run, right? So New Game Plus, I think it's pretty clear that enemies aren't a crazy big threat, but what is important is movement optimization, and we want to squeeze every second out of that we can. And one thing that's actually really cool about the PC version of this game, and we're about to see it right here, is normally we have like a forced QTE. Since dodging is like a one-button macro on the PC version, as soon as Raiden normally would get into that QTE, Meka just presses the dodge button, not intended by the way, and then he just gets out of it and he can run freely, saves quite a little bit of time.
And this attack that you see, like Raiden sliding around the ground at like Mach 1000, that's like the quickest way to get around when you're doing that run, sort of akin to like a DMC1 Stinger type situation. So yeah, it's the fastest way to move.
Some kind of
Very cool.
electronic lock.
Well, there is one thing that is faster than that, right? Well, depends on how you mean, not RTA.
And it's technically slower, is it not? The combination of Ripper mode and Blade mode that makes time slow down to a crawl. And hey, Jack, how's the weather doing? John, thank you for opening the door. Thank you very much. Yep, we just kind of passed the fight that was going to barricade that area, just because we're able to utilize a bunch of New Game Plus mechanics. There's obviously a lot going on at once. We'll try to explain stuff as we go, but there's,
a lot of
first
stuff
couple
happens.
missions are really action-packed.
Really dense. I think a good way to think about Ripper mode, right? Although you did say it was Reaper mode, I personally think that's kind of cooler. I think a good way to think of Ripper mode, it's kind of Raiden's like powered up state. He's juicing. Doctor, I need the Trenbolone. What that's doing for him is, think of it as like an enhancer. In combat, you do more damage, but also in movement, it kind of exaggerates whatever you're doing. So whenever Raiden does one of those foot dives, Meka will activate Ripper mode on top of it, and it will exaggerate the horizontal distance that the foot dive covers. And here, we're going to see that deployed quite a bit for factory skip. So the mechanics of polearm jumping, effectively, when you go up into the air with the polearm, the second air attack there, which you're seeing Meka do there, has a little bit of a gust of wind behind it. It lifts Raiden up, and if you activate Ripper mode on top of that, that exaggeration helps you gain insane height, which we can use to scale this whole section. Normally, Raiden would be in forced encounters, he'd have to fight dudes, stealth past people, talk to his wife. He doesn't want to do any of these things. He's trying to god game. And this is the hardest skip in the game itself. Very precise lineup here, have to get it very high. Ooh, almost hits it.
It's worth noting you'll see this little sword combination at the end of those sort of polearm jumps. That gives you a little bit of extra height, a little bit better positioning. As you can see, this skip is insanely difficult, so it can be a little tricky.
Yeah, in truth, what Meka has to do here is he really has to hit the Ripper mode activation at the absolute peak, which he just does. If you're watching this in the live stream room, first off, buddy, good luck to you. And second, go ahead and clap for that one. That's huge.
Yeah, he got it first try on his fourth attempt.
I didn't see anything weird.
Yeah, I blinked. So,
And here's the next actual fight against another cyborg, truth be told. So this is Desperado Enforcement's Mistral. These are like, what are these guys like? These are like, so if you ever played a Metal Gear game, for example, these are the special like Cobra unit equivalents that Raiden has to face. And I think generally Platinum did a good job in making every single one of them unique. Mistral kind of gets taken to the pain train, full stop, with the Bloodlust cheers. Basically, every phase is skipped as soon as it's entered, just by one fight, and the fight's already almost over.
Yeah, Raiden's high heels are proving dominant here. You'll see him checking the, restarting the checkpoint. It's quicker than watching the cutscene. And yeah, pretty much Raiden, he's just going to pull out his shears again and just absolutely destroy Mistral. Follow up with a backhand for good measure. Always good against a spear user, apparently. Yeah, jumps into a sort of big pot of liquid nitrogen, freezes up Mistral. I would like to say that this is a very, are you ready for it?
Yeah, go for it.
A very, very cool way to finish a fight, I could suggest, yeah.
All right, it was fun commentating with you all, but I'm going to have to go now.
Yeah, can you chill out with that, dude?
Oh, geez.
I mean, I understand you're
That
trying to
was
break
just
the ice.
cold.
So I think this kind of sets the stage and the tempo for how the rest of this run is going to work. Normal enemy encounters we tend to breeze through because New Game Plus we have access to this weapon called the Foxblade. Foxblade, imagine you're always in that kind of like quick cutting mode. So you're instant killing normal dudes, and when it comes to boss fights, you're basically just using your strongest, most Gorilla Grodd tier tactic to just chunk their health bars away. And what's bridging these segments are these long movements, or long sections of movement, going out of bounds, and stealth. Speaking of stealth, we're in a sewer.
Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So this is a little bit of a globe-trotting adventure. We're now literally in the sewers of Mexico. Well, not literally, but you know. I don't think they have these there.
Well, you're actually watching real life happen right now, so.
Oh, Mills, I didn't know you were in this game.
This is actually me, yeah. It's like my high heels, they're pretty cool. Like how do my calves look? Anyway, this is usually one of the more annoying enemies in the game, but luckily we packed the Foxblade today, so yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he goes to sleep immediately.
Yeah, get out of here.
So the thing about the Mastiffs is, if they see you, you're locked into a forced encounter. They're not dangerous, but they waste time. So Meka's objective here is to stealth past them. How didn't they see him? How didn't they hear him? The world will know right now. So while you're jumping in Ninja Run, which is again that kind of like auto parkour sprint mode, it gives Raiden a little extra push of movement horizontally. If you let go of Ninja Run as you're landing, it basically erases the sound that you would make normally, so you can stealth by enemies more aggressively.
Yeah, normally that's the case. Yeah, and here you'll see Meka cutting these enemies quite precisely right down the middle. That is actually very important for this run. If you cut an enemy the wrong way, you know, if you just like take off a leg or an arm, they can survive and they just sort of linger on the ground uselessly. It can be very annoying and it can prevent you from sort of moving forward on the run. So yeah, you want to make sure you sort of dissect them right down the middle.
Yeah, you don't want to let them bleed out menacingly.
Yeah, you want to just destroy them. Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons we saw Meka cut the enemies at the start of the game in two. That's the fastest way to despawn them. And right here, seeing something similar, this is one of the most dangerous. Oh, and he does get caught. Instantly, the invisible wall goes up, and automatically the Mastiffs are jumping all over the zone. Meka choosing not to opt for the restart and just tries to hack him away as quickly as possible. It's stuff like that. It might not seem like that big of a time waster, but in the whole context of doing the run perfectly, it's stuff like that that will lose you either a PB or a world record.
I mean, I can safely say that at this point, I have yet to lose a world record in any of my runs.
That's true. For those of you that don't know, actually, Logic Dolphin is the current world record holder for New Game Plus Hard in Metal Gear Rising. You can look it up on the wiki.
He's also never played the game. That's how good he is. You know what I mean?
He's so good, he doesn't even fail any attempts.
Everything's so easy. I haven't failed these yet.
You're not wrong. So, yeah, Vash, what's going on in the story here then? Because we've not really talked about it too much. What's
So
happening?
the reason that we're in Mexico is Raiden is tracking down the people that attacked him at the start of the game. And that leads him to this segment here, where basically what we're in is like a production factory or housing facility for cyborg parts. Now, one of the cyborg parts you can have, you think you may have like machinery, like ram sticks. Nah, buddy, these are human brains. The cutscene we just skipped revealed that Raiden is in the middle of a brain harvesting plant in the middle of Mexico. Who are they harvesting? Unfortunately, homeless children. this game gets kind of dark.
That's rude.
Unironically, this is the future of Metal Gear Solid carried to a very logical extreme. And of course, juxtaposing all of that, we have funny wacky woohoo man who doesn't know how to put USB stick in.
I was going to say this is the Banjo-Kazooie part of the run, but Meka just like did it flawlessly, so we couldn't even say that.
Well, you know what?
But yeah, he can't get the USB in, you know.
He's
It
currently
doesn't fit the
downloading
first time,
Kenobi.
flip it around. Still doesn't go in, flip it around. Third time's the charm.
Doctor, I've got to watch Peaky Blinders.
So this section, it's very important to sort of put enemies the correct way, like we were talking about earlier. Because these guys with 3 legs, they're pretty annoying. If you like cut them the wrong way, they're just gonna dance around on the ground, and you're not gonna be able to like go forward in the run. So
Yeah.
you'll see Meka just pretty much just cutting everything properly the way it should be done. It's very impressive, actually.
He's like Salt Bay. He's picking up
Yeah,
cyborg
but with a
parts.
sword. Salt Bay with a sword, yeah, that's basically this game in a nutshell.
I mean,
isn't it?
doesn't Salt Bay actually just normally use a machete?
A high frequency machete.
High frequency
Yeah.
machete. There's literally one in the game, ain't there?
It's true, yeah, it's an unlockable weapon. It's all coming together.
So if you, hopefully you guys have been studying because it's time for you to graduate to this next boss fight against the Grad.
I don't know what it is. But oh no, go ahead, mate. Talk to me.
I was gonna say like good robot at destroying. I mean, that could be, you know,
He actually came up with that on the fly. Good game.
freestyle skills. Yeah.
I'll donate
So
50
anyway,
for that.
yeah, he's gonna basically ice skate around. But you know what? We packed some very sick garden shears here, so we can just annihilate him in a couple hits. We skip the execution here because it's faster. He sits on his little bum, gets blown up. It's all very cool. Yeah.
man, this is the worst birthday ever. So, yeah. I think we actually have a couple of minutes for donations.
All right.
Yeah, hit me, boy.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, starting off with $25 from Zeno Rockbell that says, Doctor, disabled by speed inhibitors. Quote from Raiden Metal Gear SGDQ 2022. We also have a $50 donation from Mamoru the Tiger that says, had to drop a donation at the beginning of one of the craziest games of its generation. This run must be wild. Slice and dice. And enjoy some watermelon? Here's to a good run and a great cause. Keep the donation trains running. Let's get that 2 million.
Thank you so much for all of that. So speaking on this globe-trotting adventure, going through different war-torn parts of the world, Detroit.
Denver.
Oh, Denver. My bad, I completely forgot. Oh, dearie me.
Different D place. Okay.
No, I completely forgot. I honestly thought this was. No, anyway, so what we're doing here, basically, the people who've been running the operations that have destroyed parts of Mexico and Africa are actually based out of America. What part? Denver. World Marshal Headquarters. So now Raiden is here back in the States, and he's a man on a mission.
And at this part of the run that's coming up through this set of doors, you're going to see something that's quite important in this run too. In certain sections of this game, there's sort of parts where enemies will spawn in specific locations. So you're going to see Meka basically set himself up in a nice, cushy little position right here with his cool sword pose and just completely destroy some robots. He's killing it.
And while, back before, because Meka did it so quickly, when he was escaping that initial encounter with Denver PD, he went over the wall, but he still technically stayed in the fight while he was running through that thoroughfare. You'll see that trick come up again a little bit later. The reason that Meka did that is because if he's already in an encounter, he won't automatically enter another one. There was supposed to be this entire fight with multiple grads, big tanks, and all that stuff that would waste a lot of time. So, instead, we just take our opportunity and use the cover of one fight to scale an entire section and move on to another one.
It's just a normal day in Denver, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Honestly, Meka, no, Mills, talk to me. What wouldn't you give for those?
For those,
For
what wouldn't I
those.
give? I don't think there's anything.
For the whole ensemble, the whole posterior chain.
I think I would just give a little time and do some squats, really. I mean,
But it
that's
seems like
generally
you
how they-
can buy those, right? You can go into the shelf and I want those.
I don't want a cake, I want the full bakery. Like, yeah, that's gonna cost you some.
Yeah, Amazon probably sells those.
No way. All right, so this is the most dangerous pole arm jump of the entire run over a dead gap. Oh, I think it's a little too low.
Oh, we made it.
We're fine. It's fine. We're just scaling roofs. There's like no issue whatsoever here. We're not going to totally fall down at all.
That's
Holy,
Friday.
this entire floor here is. Wait, what? This is scripted.
We're dropping in at Tilted Towers. Here we go.
Turns out this is the fastest way to get to the subway.
All right,
You know.
didn't thank the bus driver, dude.
Yeah, so basically this section we're going through right now, if you've ever been in a subway and you've seen a door that says no admittance, employees only, this is what it looks like behind there. This is the maintenance tunnels.
This is what's above you. This is what engineers need degrees to go and see.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, it's like classified information. Like behind every subway door is just the greatest trip you've ever seen.
Yeah, what the government doesn't want you to know is there's DMT in the walls.
And elk meat I've heard too, so there you go, yeah.
He's on the podcast right now. Oh, dearie me. So we're
Shaving
gonna.
my head as we speak.
I mean, I need to, bro. The Rogaine ain't working. Anyway, so we have to reset to get back into balance, but once we do, it's actually a pretty typical run through what you would expect in a normal playthrough, except we cut through stuff a lot quicker. Now, Raiden's really cool. His legs are manufactured, so he doesn't care about infrastructure. He'll just cut down a bridge and then cut down a tank, no issue. And he's got the red juice going the whole time, too.
Yeah, and you'll notice here we have the sort of MVP underrated sub-weapon, the Sai. And you're going to see it used here. It basically sort of locks onto enemies and drags you towards them. And as you can see here, when enemies are spaced out in all different directions, it's a very neat way to sort of get close to them and just completely destroy and end their lives. So yeah, it's very effective. You can also jump out of it, so you can chain your jumps. Yeah, it's very efficient. Great weapon.
So have you ever been in a situation where someone wants to talk to you while you're walking to class and you just don't have time for that? Well, turns out the way you can bypass that is to do a polearm jump onto a rooftop and then just like dash across, and you'll just skip an entire walk and talk of your life.
Yeah, if you need to get a conversation quick, just pull out your giant metal spear and just, yeah, go into Reaper mode because it sounds cooler, and jump on a roof, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I
see
mean,
the
that's how-
subtitles down there? That's the conversation we skip.
Yeah, that's honestly how I get out of any awkward conversation. So what's happening right now is Jetstream Sam should be talking, and he's dropping some hard truth bombs. He is completely owning Raiden right now. He's outpacing him intellectually, and Raiden can't handle it. Because what he has to face, Raiden I mean, is that secretly, he's not out here fighting World Marshal because he's a cool dude. No, he's fighting World Marshal because he's a bad guy. And he just can't handle it.
Yeah, he just found out that Sam dropped like a mixtape. Like a mixtape consoled, like a mixtape like solely of diss tracks on Raiden's like his high heels, his sword's lame. So yeah, that's why Raiden's very traumatized right now. And there's probably same for donations here.
So let me on the mic. I'm not owned. I'm not owned.
All right, donations indeed. We do have a lot of love coming in, starting with $20 from Baba Booey that says, "Nano machines, son. Good luck to Mekarazium with a Metal Gear Rising run." We also have a $250 donation from Ace GG's that says, "Much love to the speedrunning community and GDQ. Let's see those Stepmania challenges." And indeed, we are just about $8,000 away from being able to close out that bonus modded showcase. So keep those donations coming in. Time for some more?
Yeah, I think we got time for one more.
All right,
yeah,
one
yeah.
more indeed. Well, we have a $20 donation from Lion Yeti that says, "Hey GDQ, catching up on the VODs, reminding me to donate $20 to the Stepmania showcase."
Thank you all so much for that as well. Make sure you're donating for the Blade Wolf DLC bonus run. We want to make sure we get as much bang for the buck as possible. This is supporting a great cause, and it's not just talking about games. The work that's done here for GDQ helps organizations around the world and helps people around the world. So thank you for that.
Indeed, and great news, Vash, because before the run, the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Blade Wolf DLC run was indeed met.
Oh my god!
Snap.
Base. Thank you so much for letting me know that, dude, so I don't keep plugging it. Oh, we could have kept it running.
So-
I mean, yeah, keep the Stepmania going as well.
Anyway, right now you're currently seeing, Sam's bars that he dropped were so vicious that Raiden doesn't even feel these, multiple machetes, making their way into his face. Yeah, you can't really do anything to skip this quicker. It's just have to ride it out. Sam's just having a great moment right now. He knows he's on stream, so he's bringing the heat.
He's his best bars. He's not even saving them for the album anymore. And the best
He's bringing them
line,
live.
easily the best line in any game ever.
There it is.
I don't understand, dude. I want that as my dono alert or something.
Listen, if you're backed into a corner with like total facts and stuff and you have no other way out, it's the old reliable.
You're currently becoming a corn cob as somebody just absolutely demolishes you. Sam just drops the story of Adidon on him and he can't handle it. So let me back in. Let me back in the booth. All right, so it's time for the next member of Desperado Enforcement LLC, Monsoon.
He is also known as the inventor of Reddit because, as we all know, this game takes place in the distant future of 2012. And as he saw on screen, he mentioned memes. That's really what Reddit was founded on, so...
Yeah,
this
we're
guy's
actually chilling.
He's effort posting super hard right now.
We're actually chilling outside Reddit HQ at the moment. Yeah, that's where this entire game sort of takes place, just outside of Reddit HQ. So yeah, a little bit of unknown lore there that you didn't know until now.
Yeah, all this is servers with everybody's posts, every sub, every upset moderator, all in there right now. And they're all just watching this unfold. They can't believe it.
Monsoon got those size that he bought from r/cool weapons, and he's just showing them off. Yeah, along with those thighs that are
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right, so the Monsoon fight here. We have to do some phase skips here, but it's a really interesting fight because this enemy you can't really just slash because he'll just take his body parts back together. So how do we beat something with plays, Well, you just do some heavy attacks, and then eventually you get so pissed that he just starts throwing stuff at you like you're his ex, I guess. And
Sit back to Tinder for me.
Yeah, he's subbing to Tender Gold as we speak anyway.
Hey, shout outs to Pazure, by the way.
Also, it's worth noting in this fight, you'll see a sort of mechanic being used, and anyone who's sort of played Bayonetta, in depth, all two of you, will recognize this mechanic, but it's called dodge offset. Basically, you do one part of a combo, and then you do a dodge. You're probably going to see it here in a sec. You do a dodge, and then it allows you to follow that attack up with another one, the same part of a combo string, but it allows you to sort of move around and position yourself. And that's very important in this fight because Monsoon likes to get around, you know what I mean? He likes to move.
Well, and also as soon as he hits the, the Mountain Dew Bolt mode, or is that Pitch Black? I can't tell anymore. As soon as he activates the magnetic power, he starts jumping around, and that's basically how he initiates his phase skips. So, like Logic said, he's going to start throwing stuff because he can't beat him any other way. And this is where, normally we wouldn't even be seeing this part. Because what would normally happen is that, Homeboy would already be dead. But what we have to do to beat this fight normally, if any of you ever actually take the time to play this game, is we got to get in close. He's taking the thighs in. He can't beat He cannot beat the bakery. So basically what we have to do is... Monsoon, like Logic said, is kind of like a giant Bionicle. He can disassemble and reassemble, and that's kind of tough for a dude whose gimmick is cutting things apart. So what Raiden has to do in this case is just hit that little poking eyeball out, and then he gets so disoriented, he gets so owned on a mathematical and logical level that he just loses the ability to defend himself.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think Sundowner was watching from his window, watching all of these, very useful tanks and helicopters getting thrown in, and he was just like, Monsoon, the budget. He's just watching the stocks drop.
I mean, I'm sure their budget is just ridiculous if Monsoon is just willing to do this.
This is literally, we call this Reddit, but it's a bit more like military SpaceX. Honestly, you think it's a meme, but actually they just have infinite money. Here's the problem. These, balls of equipment were pre-made. Monsoon had to commission these. He didn't just fuse them, they came like that.
Yeah, and you're going to see the most lethal weapon of sort of Reddit HQ used here. This is a giant downvote, you know. Ryden's made a post that Munson's about to moderate the hell out of right now with a big old downvote. I like how he didn't start with the giant, you know, Washington Monument there. He just like, yeah, I'll save that for last, that'll be really cool. This cyborg won't be able to dodge this giant structure, yeah.
Well, now it is spinning though, so in fairness.
And this pisses off Raiden that his post that was supposed to get 1 million upvotes just got downvoted. And now we figure out how to defeat a thing you can't slice to death. How do you defeat something you can't slice to death? You slice it to death.
Well, in fairness, he kind of cut at a weird angle, you know.
And you give him a couple kicks first, you know, if you're going to cut something, you know, if you've got some fruit or something on your counter, you know, you give it a couple kicks, that'll be good to cut, so there you go.
Standard operating, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of advice from you from somewhere on Earth, yeah, there you go. I'm here all day, so yeah.
So now we got to raid the combination IT department, weapons development, Tesla development, Reddit moderation wing of World Marshal HQ. There's no shot he just walks in there like this. I don't get it.
You know, yeah. He knows we're watching him.
Everybody would have guns trained. There's 2 turrets up there. Nobody tries anything. They're like, you know
what I love? You know what I love here, Vash? How this... Yeah, you're gonna see Raiden cut this robot, you know, like assistant behind the desk, but like he took a pretty big gamble here to cut this thing without maybe checking out the robot first. Like that could have been a human being that he just annihilated with the slide attack. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Anyway,
he said, "Look, dude, I gotta do 6 spins, dude. I got this pole arm." So this is one of the actually the only times you'll see the pole arm used for combat in the run, and this is actually where it shines, is in these big group scenarios. But, you know, realistically, it is honestly a little bit faster in most cases to ninja run around and try to slice these enemies individually, because while, yes, it is technically beating them faster, they're not despawning faster always. It's much more consistent to angle slices in Ninja Run, and that's what Meka will typically do. So if you're wondering, it seems like this guy has all this insane tech. Why isn't he doing X or Y in these situations? Look, man, just trust me, okay? We're professionals here, okay?
Don't question the process.
Yeah, trust the mindset, okay? So even though Raiden is the master of space, time, and Mountain Dew Code Red, we still cannot beat his final enemy, elevators. So this is a little bit of an auto-scroller section of sorts, and I'm going to be looking at what can you call that except goals, honestly? I think we have time for a couple of donations.
Great, sounds good. Well, we'll kick it off with a $200 donation from Leon's buddy Dave that says, "Doctor, turn off my donation inhibitors."
True. Yeah. I wish it was always that easy.
We also have $100 from Rayline that says, "Not ITG was my favorite segment last AGDQ. Let's get that modded showcase." And indeed, the next run, it still has a bonus incentive that hasn't quite been met yet, which is going to be the Statmania Not ITG bonus modded showcase. So if you want to see Spoody and Friend do some excellent additional content, keep those donations coming in.
All right, so now we have another technical, air quotes, big air quotes, stealth section here. So if you want to take down the IT department, all you got to do is hit a couple of hidden wall panels that are like running power through the entire floor, I guess, and that's what Raiden's job is. This technically is stealth, by the way, because if they can't tell their friends, you were never caught. Great tips.
You know, if everyone's lost, you know, 50 or more % of their body, then, you know, you never got caught, did you?
No harm, no foul, right? You know, come on.
It's only a crime if you get caught, but don't take that advice literally, because you don't have a cyborg blade or whatever, so I would not recommend it. Anyway, Raiden's going to throw a smoke grenade here, which apparently, you know, is the sort of the weakness of you know, highly advanced cyborgs is just smoke. You know, you can just bring that kush, my G, you know.
Well, no, what I was gonna say is, if you want to get through a cyborg's defenses, if you want to throw somebody off track, you just start ripping sick vape clouds at them.
Yeah,
right.
That does distract, huh?
The infinite wig for the secondary weapons is just a cloud mod.
Also, you gotta wonder what would have happened if, like, you know, those elevators just didn't work. Like, Raiden take the stairs, you know, it would have been very inconvenient for him, so it's all sort of lining up for him really well. Also, you know, back to that sort of topic about, you know, talking about the budget. apparently, you know, World Marshal here have like just a blank check where they can afford to blow up the entire building for one guy. It's very impressive. It's a nice flex, really.
Who's covering this for insurance? Like, here's the problem. He got on that floor and it was already bricked. There's no way. Like, they were, like,
yeah.
Like, Sundowner had to, boys, we got a very special guest coming through today. I need this whole floor charred.
It's like one of those WWE backstage sort of cameras, like you're just watching it. You know what I mean? Like you're just watching it from the arena, like, oh yeah, it's coming through. Anyway, yeah, apparently, you know.
They're making it easier for him. Mills, they're making it easier for him. They made platforms for him to jump up on, dude.
This is, yeah, note to self, don't ever blow up your own building to get one guy out of there. It's not gonna work. Yeah.
This is why you don't burn your house down to kill one spider.
Yeah. Because he will just jump on top of your highly advanced robots and run up your wall like this. He's coming straight for your bedroom, by the way. He is not going to pay rent, so yeah, unlucky, I guess.
And he's just like casually jumping away from the wall just to dodge the debris because, like, you know, you can totally return to the wall when you do that.
Yeah. Physics in this game is more of a suggestion, really, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah,
really
it's like it's not law. It's just, you know.
I mean,
sort of guidelines.
You break stuff too if you had the robo glutes. Let's be honest. And the constant,
Anyway.
the 24/7 Skype call going on that Raiden is always in. I don't believe it.
Anyway. Yeah, we're gonna go to the perfectly normal Japanese garden on the 70th floor of the building for whatever reason. With respect, I'm not here to disrespect anyone's Japanese garden.
I mean, with the budget that they have, I mean, I'm sure they could just be like, you know, I really want to have a Japanese garden on my 70th floor. And the people will just be like, yeah, sure, no problem, fam.
Just stick all of Japan in here. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a sort of special thing that happens here. You're going to see Raiden just destroy this dude's shins. Yeah, there we go. He's going to linger around on the ground for a little bit. That is going to allow us to sort of skip through this entire section here, these buildings and stuff, without any enemies spawning. Yeah, he's just sort of making a crawler on Kino and going to the mystery box a couple times. Yeah, stole that joke from you, Vash. I'm not ashamed.
No, I was afraid he was going to miss that jump. I was about
really? I was too busy for flashbacks. Anyway, yeah. So he sort of skipped that entire section pretty efficiently. And now we're going to go to the elevator that's located on the 74th floor because this is a very large building.
I mean, I did head to the freight elevator. I don't even know what to say at this point, honestly. And what's even better, right? You have elevators for your elevators. And what do? They've already destroyed the entire lower half of their building. And they said, that's not enough. He's still climbing up. Boys, get after him.
Yeah, in hindsight, it was probably a better strategy here than destroy all your stuff. There's a bit of a theme going on, actually. Maybe this was all part of the plan. He's like, Marshall, we gotta get rid of all this junk. He's just like, he's just using Raiden as an excuse, you know what I mean?
Oh, for the insurance
all
money?
Part of the plan. Yeah.
You can
smart plan, actually.
You get to the no, this is a little extra, right? Oh, wait, no. Is it already on fire? No.
Not yet.
I skipped ahead. So another thing that's really cool about this game is how they will throw enemies that used to be bosses at you as normal enemies. So while Blade Wolf was an enemy that became a friend, and the Grads were enemies that like had its own dedicated health bar, they said, you know what, let's take this enemy type and make it a bit more stock standard. And it still works perfectly. What else doesn't work perfectly, though, is shooting an RPG, 2, at an elevator you're about to jump on.
I like to think that this is just kind of a miscommunication between management and the employees. Like the
Otherwise, that's it's a pretty large bonus they must be on to jump onto an elevator you've just blown up. In any case, right now you're going to see another sort of example of positioning yourself before the enemies come. Getting a nice sort of anime sword pose in the right position. Activate your scary mode. And the enemies are going to line up for him in a second. Oh, did he get them? Yeah, he got them, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and he sets himself up.
Yeah, he sets himself up for another attack there, and then you're probably going to see him just jump through the walls, because at this point, Raiden does not care anymore. He is so done.
Again, physics are a suggestion.
Physics suggestion. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, God. I almost said, Doctor, turn on your balding inhibitor.
Oh, God.
I don't understand how he does it, dude. Like, how does he never just turn to Raiden and say, Raiden, I need your wig.
you imagine if like he just outfitted Raiden with the most bald outfit he could find and just sent him into the fray, like just shock and awe. You know what I mean? They're not gonna see this coming. Just bald Raiden and he just rolls up, takes everyone by storm.
So speaking of taking people by storm, this is another really cool concept that Platinum used with the cyborg concept. These are body doubles. So Mistral's already gone, but they had just a spare Mistral body sitting around. They're like, hey, you know what? Chuck that at her. See what that does. And what do they do? But send in the other boy. Any second now.
Stun double was a little bit there, but we'll forgive him. Yeah, and you see now Raiden sort of charging up the dual blades against the wall. It actually gives you a sort of form of hyper armor. So if you get attacked by body double Monsoon here, you know, it's not going to do anything. It's going to ching right off your magnificent glutes and just do nothing. And, you know, you can just destroy him with those big old, you know, garden utilities. It's, yeah, very useful in this particular instance because Monsoon likes to jump around.
This is kind of a similar premise to the fight that we just had, right? So when he gets a little bit injured, he goes all purple mode, and then you got to chuck some rocks at him. And then he goes, oh, I can't believe you've done this. I don't know why they programmed the exact same weakness into, like, the AI robot, but...
Robot?
Hey, buddy.
I mean, consistency is key, isn't it? The real question is why didn't they just, you know, invest in all these boss body doubles instead of your run-of-the-mill sort of cyborgs? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the sort of bald leader of a very sort of oppressive PMC, so it's not for me to say, really. And also, can we talk about the fact that Sundowner here, you know, he has a cyborg body, so that means that at some point he had a choice of his sort of aesthetics, and he went for a very sort of, you know, not subtle at all dad bod with the bald shiny head going on. Yeah, bit of a weird...
Yeah, so that's not actually Raiden's head, I guess, on top of his body. We don't really see the cutscenes, but these are literally brains and eyeballs in like suspended jars, and they just kind of like build you what you want. It's like Build-A-Bot. And this dude, he went full in on it. I don't know if it's a bit. Like, he could have picked anything. He could have been walking around here like Chris Bumstead.
Yeah, he could have got like a Whitney Houston thing going on. But no,
I mean, I guess they spent so much money on the HQ that they just didn't have enough funds to properly allocate the right body.
Yeah, and instead of choosing like, you know, a big bunch of cake in his behind, he went for the sort of front gut. So, you know what? I can respect a man that does that. It takes some confidence to purposefully give yourself a beer gut. So, you know what? Round of applause for something.
Yeah, the cyborg beer gut. God bless him. So, the Sundowner fight. The way he works is normally he has this big explosive shield and wings on his body. And how you're supposed to fight him is he's supposed to be cut perfectly using the blade mode feature. But because, like Mills just said, you have so much hyper armor and you deal so much raw damage with the Bloodlust Cheers that we can honestly just force our way through his defenses, and just like that, Homeboy's sent to the Gleaners.
And what I like to sort of point out about this particular instance is Raiden here with his, you know, ninja reflexes just decides to, you know, in a second it's going to come. He just decides to stare at these missiles and get hit by them, I guess. He's got a sort of pendant for sort of drama, I would suggest, because he could have got out of the way of those. He literally jumped on missiles earlier in the run, so...
I don't know, I probably just zoned out for a second just thinking about what he was going to get for food after all is said and done.
He's like,
happens to me all the time, you know, when I'm taking down an HQ.
Did that guy have a beer gut?
Yeah.
Meanwhile...
Yeah. I think I would also suggest that Sundowner was a little sort of not right in the head, because he could have used this very valuable time to escape on that helicopter. Instead, I guess he just waited for Raiden to traverse up the entire building again to give him a haircut that he definitely didn't need, so yeah.
I can't even believe it. Like, this guy's doing the do, and the whole time he's just sitting there, like, doing one-arm pull-ups on the helicopter that he's on. Just like, God, I sure hope nobody breaks through this ceiling and chucks a glider at me. That would just be the worst thing on the planet.
Maybe
it's Raiden.
Didn't waste the entire budget on throwing helicopters at Raiden. They could have reinforced that roof a little bit, but you know what? Hindsight is 2020. And also here, you're just going to see, like, Sundowner strike a little pose, actually. He's going to strike a little pose on this helipad. It's always pretty funny to look at. Well, hopefully. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's sort of shy because he's on stream, but
Oh,
Is he
there
gonna?
he
Yeah. Oh, he's breakdancing, my guy. Look at him go.
And here once
Meanwhile,
again,
he calls you on Discord just to congratulate you for a job well done.
well, that's the thing. Like, so even though these guys are like, what's it called? Like, they're gone. They're pretty cool about being killed, right? Like, they'll call and be like, son of a bitch, you got me. Hey, put her there, sport. Then they close out of their OS, and then it's just done from there.
Hear the Skype call sound coming up, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's the guy I just mutilated.
Yeah, personally, I find it kind of rude when after I kill someone, they call me up and then, I shouldn't speak that legally. So, next chapter, what are we going to do?
So,
So anyway,
the best thing you can get away with legally in game development, if you already have assets made, why not just change the skybox and reuse them?
yeah, this is what we like to call the DMC4 section of the run. Shoutouts to all 3 people who are gonna, acknowledge that. But you know what? We take those. It's
Yeah,
a pretty high
absolutely.
number.
Shoutouts to Crazy. Keep taking those normal pills, buddy. Anyway, so now we're leaving Denver. And the way to do this is, so what separates this part normally, this is just a simple run back segment, very quick chapter. But before we kick it over to donations, just to prime you for what's ahead, we have to walk through that entire long courtyard staircase area, except now it's loaded with tripwire gecko. So Meka's job is going to be threading that needle and moving through as quietly and as stealthily as possible, because if even one dude sees him for one frame, he's caught into a battle where enemies are everywhere and he has to go clean up the mess. Let's see how he does it and kick it over to donations.
All right, sounds good. Well, we have a lot of donations coming in. We have $50 from Anonymous that says, they say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy GDQ bonus games, which is almost the same thing. And indeed, we have so many excellent bonus incentives. We have the Step Mania bonus modded showcase that is just over $7,000 to be able to close that out, which is an absolutely incredible showcase that's going to be the next run. And we also have that bonus game, Sound Voltex Exceed gear, which still has quite a ways to go, so make sure to keep those donations coming in. We also have $20 from Guttiger that says, When DEU and Spoody are the pioneers of modded ITG. Their step charts have given me hundreds of hours of entertainment. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.
Alrighty, folks. So you remember at the start of the game when Raiden got taken to Suplex City? What if we got the run back with the cool body? So this is Sam Part 2. Except now he's about to get boogaloo.
It's personal.
Yeah.
This guy took my arm off, and I took that personally.
Yeah, like, you know what? He took my arm. I'm going to take those magnificent thighs off of him. I'm gonna
How is
hit him.
everybody cheeked, bro? I don't get it. Anyway, so the way this fight works is it's another one of those heavily HP-gated fights, where what we're trying to do is we're trying to loop Jetstream Sam, and we do that with the sliding attack tackle. And we hit him with the Bloodlust Shears. That opens up his defenses, and then we charge the Bloodlust Shears, do tons of damage, loop that a couple of times until Sam hits his kill state. And this is another thing about Platinum games that gets kind of irritating. Even though the dude is dead, the fight is over, it's gotta end exactly the way that you want it to. Which is...
You will always
fine.
literally be me. Yeah, I'm going to miss you so much. Best character in the game.
Yeah.
It's gone too soon.
So what's funny is that Jetstream Sam is not a cyborg. Well, he is a cyborg, but not a full body one. He just has an arm replaced, but that's like, those legs are all natural, baby. I can't put it any other way. He's got an exoskeleton on, maybe. I don't even believe that.
Yeah, no, that's just like a jumpsuit. You know what? Like, yeah. Respect to Sam. Like, that is a lot of dedication to get thighs like that. Anyway, we are now in Pakistan because, well, this is where the world is going to end apparently, so Raiden's on the case. Got there within 2 hours too, that's incredibly fast. Definitely did not ride coach. Anyway, you're going to see him here. This is pretty much the last section of the run that we use these movement techniques that we've sort of been utilizing throughout the run, so...
It's kind of
yeah,
the
it's
greatest hits of tech. We just did our last full arm jump. We're gonna get some more of these ninja strikes. We're going to ignore, barriers just because we can. The whole 9 yards.
Because this is the last area of the game, a lot of these fights that you would normally be forced into can get kind of annoying. Like, these are like elite guards that have the possibility of parrying you randomly on a hit. So skipping them saves so much time, it's not even funny. What is funny, though, is this dude right here.
Metal Gear Rising 3.
Yes. Every single one is a new video game.
This is Metal Gear Excelsis, because, you know, this was made by Microsoft, so otherwise if it was Google made, it'd be Metal Gear Sheetsis. So,
Giant spreadsheet, yeah.
Ooh, actually, no, now that I think about it, that's pretty pog. I'm gonna go ahead and give you golf claps on that.
So yeah, the sort of, you know, the method of doing this sort of fight is again just utilizing those big old beautiful sundowner blades to chip away as much damage as quickly as possible. And yeah, you sort of this fight you just sort of have to ride it out, I guess. Do as much damage as possible. There's no like secret trick to get past it. Armstrong is just gonna scream at you with his, you know, his blue Yeti in his cockpit.
Yeah, so right now, the true villain of Metal Gear Rising has been revealed, right? So the person behind all the harvests, all the intel psyops, everybody who's in your walls, all of your schizo posts, it's all been Senator Armstrong. He's been that dude leading Desperado Enforcement and World Marshal Headquarters.
Oh
and he's
no,
here.
my word.
I know, he's
Not
in Pakistan.
my Senator Armstrong.
He's in Pakistan with one goal, to kill the president. Don't ask me don't ask me why. I didn't write the rules. And he brought, I don't know, how do you sneak this here? I just realized.
It's a very good point, actually. There's a bit of a glaring hole in the plan. Like, yeah, we're just going to sneak this 60, you know,
trillion
100 square foot. Yeah. And not just that, like a bunch of geckos and stuff too. Like, border security of the sort of, I don't know, the airport security at Pakistan must be quite lax, I would suggest, yeah, because this is a pretty big sort of... You'd think the metal detector would have shown this up, is all I'm saying.
I mean...
You know what I mean?
I mean, if we see how much gear Armstrong himself is packing, it'd be tough. So, the big thing here, right? This fight kind of shows why, you know, Metal Gear Rising is actually such a good game, right? You might not think so, just because things have died so quickly, but the thing that, you know, makes this fight so, like, quick is that he's so easy to hit. Other fights aren't like that, and here's your reward for all that hard work.
All that raw chicken. Yeah.
Suplex City!
Waking up every morning, drinking 6 raw eggs, and you can do this. You can suplex a giant Metal Gear. And you know what? I feel like there was a bit of a missed opportunity here. You know how you go through the entire game stealing bosses' sub-weapons? Why wasn't this giant, you know, 32-meter length blade a sub-weapon option? Like, if you just want to blade mode the entire playable area,
yeah,
it would have been very useful to pack this bad boy.
If you just want to cut the world open like a Minecraft world.
Yeah, open up the source code, you just use this big giant blade, yeah.
People will see this and still claim Natty, by the way.
Yeah. Also would have been a very useful weapon to keep for the next part, but you know what? We can forgive Raiden. He had no idea the
What was
level of
coming.
testosterone that was approaching. Yeah.
Is it... What's that smell? Oh my god.
It's like just sheer Armani.
Yeah, Giorgio Armani and like Reddit posts just feeding into this guy. Armstrong came out the cockpit juiced out of his noggin. There's no way.
Oh, he's juicing so hard, and you can feel it. He's just punching Raiden around like it's nothing. And here comes the giant meme that took the internet by storm. It's when Raiden, decides to punch, the guy that can destroy swords with his bare hands. Because you know what? He's backed into a corner. He's not thinking straight. He's just had his, brain cells rearranged in his head. So, yeah, we can sort of forgive him for this moment. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Does the whole,
What's super funny here is that like how quickly Raiden punches is based on how fast you click. So if you just like stop clicking or you click very intermittently, it's just
yeah, it looks like he's swimming.
They just turned down the time scale on it.
It does look pretty ridiculous, to be fair, yeah. But yeah, this section kind of like Excelsis, you can't really do much to skip it. You just sort of let Armstrong beat you up a little bit. Meka's jamming out there, I can appreciate that. So that was pretty cool. Hits him with a double punch, and then this next section of the run, we're going to have Sam's sword, because it turned out he was a bit of a cool guy. Yeah, he was sick. So basically what's going to happen here is you're going to see Raiden utilizing something called a Sky High Cancel, which is this attack here. It's a launcher. It cannot be blade cancelled, but we can work around that by jumping, because it is a launcher. We do the attack, we jump, then we can blade cancel. And it turns into a pretty sick sequence, the highest sort of DPS output in the game. That's why he's getting destroyed so quickly. You know, testosterone and steroids cannot account for sky high counseling, so you know what?
What's up,
Sucks to be
Ryan?
him.
More plates, more dates.com.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so Armstrong has the ability to heal himself, which is why, you know, it's important to go around back and hit those that little green glowing bit to just prevent him from getting his regen back. Because this fight can really just actually go on forever if you want it to.
Yeah. And yeah, you're going to see Raiden diving into him there. It just basically skips some sequences that normally you have to go through. And then Raiden's going to get strangled. Armstrong probably should have done this to begin with. You know, totally disarmed him, strangled him by the throat, but, you know, it is what it is.
All right, boys, time is going to be coming up here in about a minute or so. We'll give the call. Oh,
That's
there
the
you go.
sickest thing ever.
I know, it's the
so
best.
cool. I love how, like, Armstrong can just summon fire from his hands. You, like, don't even need to explain it. It just happens.
You drink raw egg whites, this is what you get, buddy. On top of that 24-pack. Good lord.
Couple protein shakes, couple mass gainers.
Couple of muscle melts will set you straight.
You know, a fairly decent hairline.
Well, that's where he's got me beat, obviously.
And and being able to shout so loud that you can create shot throws. It's a pretty neat package that Armstrong's got going there. Oh, probably not the best choice of words.
All right, coming up on time here.
Time.
Time.
Time, sweet.
There you go, boys. Good games.
What a game. The best.
All right, everybody. Obviously, Meka, thank you so much for the fantastic run. What was the final time?
Your dream dies with you.
Do we have that?
57:45.
57:45, still underestimate, boyo. Good job.
You've guaranteed.
Yeah, good job.
I don't
Yes.
think this run's good.
Well,
I mean, look, I've choked because I promised my people to not go for any safety.
They don't
I should have gone for more safety, but I promised to do no safety.
Hey.
But even then, even with no safety, because we're running on a GDQ, we're not playing casual stuff. We only go risk, we only try to push the games further. And that's why you never go for the safety strats on a marathon. Yes, I played badly, sorry. I could have done better. But, I mean, I haven't slept. I'm sleep deprived for
You know what?
quite a while.
In
So
fairness
Sleep
to you,
deprived,
buddy,
I'm Logic.
here's what I'm going to say. Your time is better than Logic, Dolphins.
And if it costs
Fair.
a few lives,
Well,
Everybody-
I mean, is not a number a time? And what is better? What is a better time than not a number? I don't know.
I mean, I
At the
thought...
same time, though, you know, Logic does have a slight, and I would just suggest it's just a slight disadvantage of having never played the game. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're called out, buddy. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we got you. You're busted.
Yeah, I was the imposter. But
Yeah.
there's still 2 imposters left, so watch
Do
out.
you want to play this game now, Logic? You think you'll give this game a bash?
Well, it'll be really interesting to see what happens if you aren't
my-
a speedrunner and play the game and see how much more there is.
Now, bear in mind, he said this the first time we met up, so yeah. Oh, Dad, you're going to the store for cigarettes? Oh, I'll see you in 15 minutes. Be safe.
You're going to the store for Metal Gear Rising? Yeah, I don't believe you.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody. We're out of here, and we're going to make room for the Blade Wolf DLC. Thank you so much. We're going to kick it over. Logic Dolphin, where can people find more about you and find your stuff?
Let's see. My Twitch channel is twitch.tv/LogicDolphin. My Twitter is twitter.com/LogicDolphin. My Discord is discord.gg/ and then a bunch of incomprehensible symbols and characters because I'm but yeah, I'm all around. Hit me up. I'll be streaming Final Fantasy 13 speedruns through the next couple of months if you want to check that out.
Fantastic. Nils, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, you can probably find me on sort of any street corner. No, I'm joking. You can. Yeah. I don't know. You can just type in like Mills DMC. It stands for Devil May Cry. I'm a very cool person. Into Google because I don't want to spell out my Twitter name. It's embarrassing. It's a long story. I'm undercover. But yeah, you can find me if you type in Mills DMC on sort of YouTube or Google and stuff. I've got some Metal Gear Rising advanced tutorials for it's combat on my channel, so if that thing interests you, it probably doesn't. Probably a waste of time even bringing it up, because, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm just representing the 2 other people that are interested in this game's combat for real. But, nah, yeah, you can find me there. And it's been a pleasure to help sort of show this run off with these legends that are my peers and Meka. It's been a great time. I had a lot of fun. It's good.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to find more about me, I run the Malding Manlet support group over at twitch.tv/VashTSB. Appreciate you. Meka, thank you so much for having us. And we're going to get out of the way and let you do some robo-dogging. Sound good?
Sure.
Robo-dogging.
Absolutely. It's got to be something, buddy. We can't call it blade wolfing. I actually could have called it blade wolfing. That's why they pay me the minimum wage, folks.
Robo-dogging.
Robo-dogging.
That one. Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure, everybody. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Donations alone would not even cover the maintenance.
Alright, guys. I promised you 2 things. First one is that I'm going to show you some good gaming. Second part is that I'm not going to use safety strategies.
Not about to return them to the streets.
So...
Oh man, that went very well actually.
I'll take my time and explain
rocked the shit out
the
of
brief
that.
differences between running on hard and running on Revengeance. So, the biggest difference in running between these 2 categories, for those who haven't played the game, is roughly quadruple million times far more damage you do with your parries. Which means Revengeance runs are mostly done by doing parries. Blade Wolf run is going to be on a Revengeance difficulty. Because I'm good gaming. New Game Plus hard is the fastest way to go, but if we do New Game Plus Revengeance runs, the run won't change much, because the biggest difference is part 2 is something called HP gatings. So HP gatings in easy, normal and hard are, well, they are manageable. The reason we run hard in general is because HP gatings on easy and normal prevent us from going fast. On the Revengeance, HP gatings are skyrocketed. That does not mean the run's getting, let's call it, easier or harder. It's like, you know, if you run some meme categories and then, let's say, pretend that your category is good and you wanna get your people, like some people in, that's pretty much the same thing with Revengeance. Revengeance is probably not the hardest category in the game, but because it's sort of the final category, like there's a ton of Steam achievements in the game that are tied to the Revengeance stuff, sorry. Yeah, that's a boring cutscene, whatever. So yeah, oh, you can't skip this. Sorry, you'll gotta watch a little bit of this beautiful nothingness here. Don't cut me off. I'm gonna quickly replace the saves. Thank you. Okay, MGR. This should be perfect. Please appear. Good. Nice. Alright. So, alright, let's get started. While we're waiting for the game to actually load, I have a couple of music albums to share with you for you to listen. So, Cybrid, Slave Design, good album, take a look. And Machine Supremacy, Deus Ex Machina, do it. Let's get started. So prepare for the time. Actually, no, I wanna go for the different save slot, because one of the save slots has a very important stuff for me, so I'm just gonna use the different one. So timing starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Blade Wolf, new game Revengeance run. First of all, this run is very stealth-based. It has a couple of interesting gimmicks with the game in general, because Blade Wolf doesn't have lengthy combos, and we gotta manage with all the limited resources we have. So, a couple of first sections in the run are actually auto-scrollers, because there is nothing you can do without it. You also play them like usual. That's a nice dog, by the way. Right. An actual thing that you gotta learn by doing a couple of runs with Blade Wolf is the fact that Blade Wolf has a very long stealth kill animation and his attacks are very weak. This only gets worse on Revengeance difficulty or very hard difficulty especially, because when the game throws you like the enemies like this grad here, things are getting messy for quite a lot of reasons. But I'm gonna show you a rather easy way how to clear it. So first of all, we're gonna do a slightly different jump offset here, do a stealth jump here, go over this ledge, and if everything goes fine, don't. Perfect. This is how we do it. It's easy, trust me, I know what I'm doing. It's actually pretty hard to get past this grad because he has an eyes on his like... on his head, and obviously moving the mouse with my left hand was a different experience. Alright, this section is called the office section, and the office section is actually pretty hard to perform because you gotta do a very interesting cycle here. We restart the game to reset the cycle, we pick up these heat knives for a section later, and then we gotta clear every single enemy in the game, in this room, by using your stealth kills. Stealth kills, if done correctly, will hide your alert and your models. So doing extremely precise angles with these are... holy shit, it's good. It's actually pretty hard. So if we kill all the enemies here, we can kill the last enemy by using blade mode. Good. So yeah, by cutting this last enemy above the Zandatsu place, we can easily shave just a couple of frames. And this only leads to a better run later on because, well, we want to shave the frames overall. Shaving frames is always good. Alright, now the actual hard part starts. So this is the parkour section. MGR with both Raiden and Blade Wolf has this little thingy where your jumps have a little offset timing. So even if you fall down, there is a very brief grace timing where you can just jump off the plain air. We're going to be using this a little bit of tech over these couple of jumps because we need that extra jump. And if we... that's one and... yes. So yeah, these two jumps are very hard to do, especially on this... part run. And now the fun part starts. Let's hope I won't choke this. So first of all, this thing is actually pretty hard to explain and to do at the same time, so I'm going to try my best. So first of all, there is a very difficult barrier that is timing based that we have to cross over here. So if we cross this timer, if we cross this gate at the left side here and set up the stealth kill while this guy is still falling, we can easily go past the barrier here, rotate the Blade Wolf, kill this guy, and because our aura is kind of hidden, nobody can see us, we kill this dog at the same time, which allows us to do this spin attack, and then we prematurely cancel it with a blade mode to then got the last enemy down. Seems easy enough. We need hit knives for later, so we pick this up and then we create a little offset here to make sure the first grad passes down, which in return allows us to kind of parkour through this entire stealth section alone, which is a very good thing for us because the second grad kind of turns away, and this is a perfect thing for me. And for everybody else, anyway. Alright, so this section is kind of consistent. We gotta pick up these hit knives for later. Kill this guy with a stealth skill because it's because we still need to wait for the two enemies like these ones to pass, and then you kind of just press the E code and that's it. Alright, now the actual hard part of the run. This section is inconsistent. There is no setup. I haven't found one, but if this won't work, then you can call me a noob, and I don't deserve a place here. No. Perfect. So here we're gonna aggro a couple of enemies and a dog here, which allows me to skip the fight, and if we quickly go to this panel and activate it without triggering the fight, we can easily go here. So then there is a couple of other manipulations to do. So first of all, we aggro the enemy on the right, so we make sure to parkour across him like this, and we're going to touch the panel without... do not kill me, I'm going to smother you if you do. Let's go. This is the final boss comes in. First of all, we start with a couple of hit knives to make sure he's stunned. This fight is heavily based around the health gating and the parries that I've mentioned at the very beginning. Each of the parries against Kamsin deals 10% of damage. We need to make sure... Oh, shit. Each of the parry is extremely important to us, and every single attack of Kamsin will kill us. I'm not using any safety strategies because I am a god gamer. So we keep parrying this guy. The only attack you can parry is his bullets, so we need to manage his attacks as perfectly as I possibly can. Come on. Okay, then we hit one extra attack. We skip a fight by reducing his HP very low. Then we do another charge, and then I'm going to be silent because if I choke this time, I'll never forgive myself. Okay, give me a charge. That's a charge, that's your parry, get another one. And 2 heavies that we cancel with a blade mode to get some damage. Then we need to get another parry. Come on, give me another parry, parry. Jump back. Okay, banger truck incoming. Kid of the desert, the saddle's on my face. Without a compass, a soldier knows no disgrace. Out of the ashes, the eagle rises still. Freedom is calling, prepare for the time at will. Time. Can you tell me the time?
Yep, just one moment. Looks like a 6:55.
Holy shit. Kind of like a world record. Yes. But hey, can we like not use the world record stuff, right? Because like you see, it's very misleading. And it assumes that the video that I've done here is the fastest time, when in fact someone else could have a faster unrecorded version. Can you please use the term also known as currently best known time, with publicly available evidence created by like someone else that follows the rules of the speedrunning community, a specific game that has been verified and approved by select members of speedrunning community that has considered moderators of said game on speedrun moderate the future in the future. I believe this would lower your confusion, right? So, and help everyone. Alright, let's get out to the ending part of the run. That was unexpected. Alright. So when do we start and how do we start? Let me think about it. This
Any
is the
final
part.
shoutouts? Oh, yeah, go on.
This is the part where God Gaming stops. I appreciate everyone being here today, whenever and whoever you are on site or watching online, but I have a couple of words to say. I suppose 3 minutes for 2 runs I've done today, and maybe like the DMC4 where I've done roughly the same thing will be enough, so I won't waste my time. Some of my marathon runs are remembered by something I've done near the end of them, and this run won't be an exception. The reason I'm here is because I took my time solving and researching some problems in the games that were interesting to me. And as you might have guessed, MGR is one of them. I spent plenty of time playing casually, spent a lot of time just rerouting and doing some other stuff. But I don't think I spent as much time as I should have on the run due to the amount of work done by many people before me. So Darkslayer, Zephy, Cookie, Captain Beatrix, Valeria Curve, and many others, which in return allowed me to play MGR here today to you, while only having around 6 hours total on live split. I come from the games where the skill and time saves is achieved by mastering the insights of the game, So DMC4, Hitman, Prince of Persia, MGR, and a couple of others. I thought that instead of focusing on the best result on the leaderboard and limiting your potential to that one single run there, one should instead focus on his mistakes and his approach to the game and polish his gameplay rather than endlessly comparing yourself to others that leads to the loss of the set potential. This way, things like status, place on the leaderboard, respects and accomplishment will come lightly and you'll feel a different set of emotions. But I guess I was wrong, as I figured out throughout these years. A lot of people in many communities care not about the way to make their runs good, but instead to make them run good on the leaderboard, no matter the cost. Ow. So, yeah. Throughout the status, you can quickly get anything you want for yourself and not for the people that contributed all for the run to what it is right now. But at the end, like, what truly matters? I think contributions matter. I think people that make the entry a little bit easier matter. Not the personas that review your runs on YouTube and then claim we've done an advertisement for you for free. This is why digging into smaller games and smaller marathons will probably provide you a much better, sometimes, experience. Support people like Logic Dolphin that made a tutorial for Final Fantasy XIII, Vash TSB, whose talents brings the communities together, and Mills, whose knowledge of MGR made all of you a bit happier together today. With that in mind, I kindly ask to follow my commentators and not me. Thank you. I feel empty and deranged, denied one last epiphany and ushered from the stage. We won't be meeting again, I think. Some people just want to see this world burn. Good night. There will be more godless nights.
All right, well, thank you so much. Let's give it one more time for Mekarazium with Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And that being said, upcoming next for our next run is going to be none other than the Step Media showcase with Spooty Biscuit and Wendy EU. And we still have an incentive that quite hasn't been met yet, but we're so incredibly close, Twitch chat. We're currently at 14,000 of 20,000. So if you would really like to see that incredible skill showcase, make sure to get those donations in. That being said, we will be right back. We're just going to take a quick little break.